श्री श्री लक्ष्मी नरसिंह भगवान की। श्री नरसिंह जय नरसिंह जय जय नरसिंह प्रह्लादेश जय पद्म मुख पद्म भृंगा श्री नरसिंह जय नरसिंह जय जय नरसिंह प्रह्लादेश जय पद्म मुख पद्म भृंगा तब कर कमल वरे नखाम अद्भुत श्रृंगा दलिता हिरण्यकशिपु तनु भृंगा केशवधृता नरहरि रूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे। तब कर कमल वरे नखाम अद्भुत श्रृंगार दलिता हिरण्यकशिपु तनु भृंगा केशवदिता नरहरि रूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे। तब कर कमल वरे नकाम अद्भुत श्रृंगार दलिता हिरण्यकशिपु तनु भृंगा केशवदिता नरहरि रूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे। तब कर कमल वरे जगदीश हरे, जय जगदीश हरे, जय जगदीश हरे, जगदीश हरे, जय जगदीश हरे, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hey, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. Nityananda Ram, Nityananda Ram, Hey Nityananda Ram, Nityananda Ram, Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai. Jaya Radha Parsati Gauranitai, Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman ki jai. Jayo Narsingha Dev, Jayo Prahlad Maharaj, Jayo Narsingha Dev, Jayo Prahlad Maharaj. Jayo 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 Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. कृष्ण। ठीक है, हरि बोल, हरि बोल। जय राधा पार्थ सारथी राधा, पार्थ सारथी राधे। जय ललिता विशाखा, ललिता विशाखा, ललिता विशाखा, जयो ललिता विशाखा। जय सीताराम लक्ष्मण हनुमान, सीताराम लक्ष्मण हनुमान। जय गौरानिताय, जय गौरानिताय, गौरानिताय, जय गौरानिताय। जय गौरानिताय, 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 जय गौरानिताय। निताय गौरांगो, निताय गौरांगो, निताय गौरांगो, निताय गौरांगो। निताय गौरांगो, निताय गौरांगो, निताय गौरांगो, लैया संग पांगो। निताय गौरांगो, निताय गौरांगो, ओ निताय गौरांगो, निताय गौरांगो, निताय गौरांगो, निताय गौरांगो, निताय गौरांगो, निताय गौरांगो। नित्यानंद राम, नित्यानंद राम, नित्यानंद राम, जय नित्यानंद राम। एक चक्रधाम, एक चक्रधाम, एक चक्रधाम, एक चक्रधाम। नित्यानंद राम, जयो नित्यानंद राम। जयो लक्ष्मी नरसिंह, जय लक्ष्मी नरसिंह, प्रहलाद नरसिंह, जय प्रहलाद नरसिंह। ओम विष्णुपादाय अपृष्ठाय भूतले भक्त आमीन नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे, निर्विशेषो शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदो, श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवसादि गौरा भक्त वृंद श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य गौर हरि बोल। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदो श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरा भक्त वृंद हरि निताय हरि। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदो श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवसादि गौर भक्त वृंद जय गौर भक्त वृंद जय गौर नित्यानंद जय गौर नित्यानंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 रामो 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 रामो 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। प्रभुपाद 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 जय प्रभुपाद श्रील प्रभुपाद 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 जय प्रभुपाद श्रील प्रभुपाद ट्रांसेंडेंटल गुरु पूजा के श्री गुरु चरणा पद्म केवल भक्ति सद्मा श्री गुरु चरणा पद्म केवल भक्ति सद्मा श्री गुरु चरणा पद्म केवल भक्ति सद्मा बंद मुई सावधान मते बंद मुई सावधान मते जहारो प्रसादे भाई ए भवत रियाया यहारो प्रसादे भाई जे भव तरिया कृष्ण प्राप्ति भयो यहाँ होइते कृष्ण प्राप्ति भयो यहाँ होइते गुरुमुख पद्मा वाक्यो चित्ते ते करिया क्यों गुरुमुख पद्मा वाक्यो चित्ते ते करिया क्यों गुरुमुख पद्मा वाक्यो चित्ते आरो ना को मने आशा आरो ना करी मने आशा
रने रति यही से उत्तम गति श्री गुरु चरणे रति यही से उत्तम गति ये प्रसादे पूरे सर्वो आशा प्रसादे पूरे सर्वो आशा चक्षुदान दिलो यही जन्मे जन्मे प्रभु से चक्षुदान दिलो यही जन्मे जन्मे प्रभु से दिव्य ज्ञान हृदय प्रकाशितो दिव्य ज्ञान हृदय प्रकाशितो प्रेम भक्ति जहाँ है ते अविद्या विनाशो याते प्रेम भक्ति जहाँ है ते अविद्या विनाशो याते दे गाय जहाँ चरितो दे गाय जहाँ चरितो श्री गुरु करुणा सिंधु अधम जनर बंधो श्री गुरु करुणा सिंधु अधम जनर बंधो लोकेनाथ लोकेर जीवाना शील प्रभुपाद अमर जीवनो शील प्रभुपाद लोकेर जीवनो हा हा प्रभु करो दया देखो मोरे पद छाया प्रभुपाद करो दया देखो मोरे पद छाया घुसुपी भुवनो घुसुपी भुवनो शील प्रभुपाद तेरा जीवनो जयो प्रभुपादो प्रभुपादा प्रभुपादा शील प्रभुपादो प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद जय प्रभुपाद जय प्रभुपाद 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 शील प्रभुपाद शील प्रभुपाद 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 जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय प्रभुपाद नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी निति नामिने। जय जय प्रभुपाद। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषो शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरा भक्त वृंद। नित्यानंद Hare Krishna. We would like to welcome His Holiness Prahladananda Swami Maharaj. Hari Hari Bol. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda। सबाई बोलो और नाचो गाओ हरि कीर्तन में। नित्यानंद प्रभु की कृपा के लिए सबको थोड़ा नाचना है, बिना नाचे कृपा नहीं मिलेगी। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवसादि गौरा भक्त वृंद। चैतन्य नित्यानंद श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवसादि गौरा भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। कृष्ण कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hari Hari Bol, Hari Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga, Nitai 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 Gauranga, Nitai 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 Gauranga. Oh Nityananda Ram, Nityananda Ram, Nityananda Ram, Nityananda Ram. Oh Nityananda Ram, Nityananda Ram. Oh Nityananda Ram, Nityananda Ram. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Gaur Hari Bol. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Gaur Hari Bol. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Gaur Hari Bol. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Gaur Hari Bol. Nitai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Daya Karo More. खत्म कर रहे हैं। गौर प्रेमानंदे।
Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahangsa Prabhudakacharya Asadhara Sadushi Shiman, His Divine Grace Shalasi Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai, ISKCON Samstapakacharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahangsa Prabhudakacharya Asadhara Sadushi Shiman, His Divine Grace Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Ananti Koti Vaishnava Vrindi Ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Shri Rup Sanatan Bhadraganath Shri Jeev Gopal Raghunath Shad Goswami Prabhu Ki Jai. Premjigo Shri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasudeva Gaur Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai. Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shamakun, Radhakun, Giri Govardhan Ki Jai, Mathura Dham Ki Jai, Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai, Mayapur Dham Ki Jai, Navadvip Dham Ki Jai, Jagannath Puri Dham Ki Jai, Ayodhya Dham Ki Jai, ISKCON New Delhi Ki Jai, ISKCON Radhapartha Sarthi Mandir Ki Jai, Shri Radhapartha Sarthi Ki Jai, Lalita Vishaka Ki Jai, Shri Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman Ki Jai, Shri Panchatattva Ki Jai, Shri Gaur Nitai Ki Jai, Mahahosava Vivira Shri Nityananda Ram Ki Jai. Gaur Premanande Haribo, all glories to these sound devotees, all glories to these sound devotees, all glories to these sound devotees, all glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga.
श्री गुरु वंदना। हमारे गुरुदेव के चरण कमल ही एकमात्र साधन हैं जिनके द्वारा हम शुद्ध भक्ति प्राप्त कर सकते हैं। मैं उनके चरण कमलों में अत्यंत भक्ति एवं श्रद्धापूर्वक नतमस्तक होता हूँ। उनकी कृपा से जीव भौतिक क्लेशों के महासागर को पार कर सकता है तथा कृष्ण की कृपा प्राप्त कर सकता है। मेरी एकमात्र इच्छा है कि उनके मुख कमल से निकले हुए शब्दों द्वारा अपनी चेतना को शुद्ध करूं। उनके चरण कमलों में अनुराग ऐसी सिद्धि है जो समस्त मनोरथों को पूर्ण करती है। वे मेरी बंद आँखों को खोलते हैं तथा मेरे हृदय में दिव्य ज्ञान भरते हैं। जन्म जन्मांतरों में वे मेरे प्रभु हैं। वे प्रेमा भक्ति प्रदान करते हैं और अविद्या का नाश करते हैं। वैदिक शास्त्र उनके चरित्र का गान करते हैं। हे गुरुदेव, हे प्रभुपाद, करुणा सिंधु तथा पतित आत्माओं के मित्र, आप सबके गुरु एवं सभी लोगों के जीवन हैं। हे गुरुदेव, हे प्रभुपाद, मुझ पर दया कीजिए तथा मुझे अपने श्री चरणों की छाया प्रदान कीजिए। आपका यश तीनों लोकों में फैला हुआ है। जगत गुरु शील प्रभुपाद की, बोलो नित्यानंद राम की। नित्यानंद प्रभु आविर्भाव दिवस महोत्सव के
Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Daya Koromore Tamabhina Kedoyalu Jagat Samsare. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Daya Koromore Tamabhina Kedoyalu Jagat Samsare. Patita Pavana Hetu Tavavatara Mosama Patita Prabhu Napai Behara. Patita Pavana Hetu Tavavatara Mosama Patita Prabhu Napai Behara. Ha Prabhu Nityananda Premananda Sukhi Kripa Bolo Karakara Abhi Varadukhi. Ha Prabhu Nityananda Premananda Sukhi Kripa Bolo Kanakara Ami Baraduki. Daya Koro Sitapati Advaita Goshai Tava Kripa Pole Pai Chaitanya Nitai. Daya Koro Sitapati Advaita Goshai Tava Kripa Pole Pai Chaitanya Nitai. Ha Swarup Sanatana Rupa Raghunatha Pata Juga Shideva Prabhu Lokanatha. Ha Swarup Sanatana Rupa Raghunatha Pata Juga Shideva Prabhu Lokanatha. Daya Koro Acharya Prabhu Srinivasa Ramachandra Sangamaye Narodamodasa. Daya Koro Acharya Prabhu Srinivasa Ramachandra Sangamaye Narodamodasa. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Daya Karo Hare Toma Vina Ke Doyalu Jagat Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Prabhu Nityananda, Premananda Sukhi, Kripa Bolo, Kana Kara, Ami Varadukhi. Jayam Vishnupad Paramhangsa Parvarakacharya Asadhara Situ Shri Shriman His Divine Grace Lacy Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Gaur Premanande Haribol. Glorious to these sound devotees. All glorious to Shri Guru and Shri Guranga. What are we doing for translation? Okay. Should I speak slowly? Is he good trained? Should I speak slowly?
As you wish, Maharaj.
Okay.
Speaks English, so.
Okay, good. This is the verse I'm supposed to read?
If you want to speak the Lord verse, as whatever you like, Maharaj.
We'll start with the, this is the Majid. Yes, yeah. We'll just. Om Agyanatimirandasya Gananjana Salakaya Chaksur Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Tadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shigaro Shiyuta Padakamalam Shigaram Vaishnavam Cha Shirupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raganatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Vrajana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shiva Sakanzitam Cha Hey Krishna Karna Sindhu Dinabanda Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Prishubhanu Sudadevi Pranamami Hari Priye Panchakapa Trubhyascha Kripa Sinubhyevacha Patiranam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Pranityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasati Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So as we know, today is the auspicious appearance day of Sri Nityananda Ram. Recently we celebrated the appearance day of Sri Advaita Acharya, and then we celebrated the appearance day of Lord Varaha. Lord Advaita Acharya came to deliver fallen people of this region, and so did Lord Varaha. He came to pick up the fallen, the whole Bhumandala. And now we have Lord Nityananda, who appeared, and then we have Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So we know first Advaita Acharya appeared, and then Lord Nityananda appeared, and then Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared. So it's the right order. Lord Nityananda generally appears when Krishna appears as his brother. Now I'm seeing Shri Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman, and when Lord Ramachandra appeared, so Lord Nityananda appeared as Lakshman. So of course we know in the pastimes of Lakshman and Lord Ramachandra usually got Lakshman into difficulty, because the younger brother has to listen to the older brother in the Vedic culture, and since Lakshman was younger, he had to do whatever Lord Ramachandra wanted him to do. So he wound up in the forest, banished along with Lord Ramachandra. He had to personally bring Sita Devi into the fire. Then he had to bring Sita Devi, banish her. So Lakshman decided that next time I appear with Lord Ramachandra, I'll be his older brother, so I won't get into so much difficulty. So this time he appeared before Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and of course before Lord Nityananda was Advaita Acharya. Advaita Acharya was approximately 52 years older than Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and I believe Lord Nityananda was around 10 years older than Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Lord Nityananda appeared in Ekachakra to two pious Brahmin parents, Hadai Pandit and Padmavati. And throughout his childhood, everyone marveled how expert he was at playing the role of Lakshman in the pastimes of Lord Ramachandra. Even Krishna used to play Krishna and Balaram took pleasure in playing in the pastimes of Sitaram, Lakshman, Hanuman. And Lord Nityananda was particularly expert at playing the role of Lakshman. One time, they were playing the pastime when the son of Ravana hit Lakshman with a Brahmastra weapon, and Lakshman fell unconscious. And so the doctor said the only way of reviving Lakshman is Hanuman should go to the mountain and bring back the Sanjeevi herbs, and that would revive Lakshman. So Hanuman flew to the mountain, because he had many pastimes flying to the mountain. He killed many Rakshasa demons who were guarding the Sanjeevi herbs. Couldn't figure out which were the herbs because they were hiding, so he picked up the whole mountain and brought it to the battlefield. And then the doctor figured out which the herbs were and gave them to Lakshman and revived him. So this time, Nityananda was playing the role of Lakshman, and one boy said that I am, what was his name? No, his other name. No, the Meghavant, the son of Lord of Ravana. What's that? Indrajit. That's it. Indrajit, yeah, Indrajit. Because he conquered Indra. So one boy said, I am Indrajit. And he threw a flower at Lord Nityananda. And Lord Nityananda fell unconscious on the ground. And all the boys gathered around because they couldn't detect there was any breathing. They thought maybe he's dead. Maybe the flower killed him. So they were very disturbed. So one man was passing by, and he said, what's the problem? He said, well, someone threw a flower at Lakshman, and he fell down, and it looks like he's dead. So the man said, well, what was happening? What was going on? What were you doing? Well, we were playing the pastime when Indrajit threw the Brahmastra weapon at Lakshman, and Lakshman fell unconscious. Actually, it wasn't a Brahmastra, it was some kind of two-headed snake. So what happened next? He fell unconscious, and we don't know what to do because it appears he might have even left his body. So the man said, well, what I think you should do is someone should play the role of Hanuman, and he should fly to the mountain, to the Himalayan mountains, and pick up the Sanjeevi herbs, and then come back and give them to Lakshman. So one boy said, I am Hanuman. I am flying to the Himalayas. I am picking up the mountain. I am flying back. I have the Sanjeevi herbs. I'm giving them to Lakshman. And then they gave a flower to Lakshman, Sanjeevi herbs, and he woke up. He said, whoa, where's Indrajit? So there's always a continuity in the pastimes of Lord Krishna. There's a continuously, they like to play the same pastimes again and again because they're externally, increasingly nectarian. The pastimes of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are practically identical with the pastimes of Lord Krishna, but they're appropriately performed for the age of Kali, for our particular situation. So we know that eventually Lakshman, one saintly person came and he asked Hridaya Pandit for his son to go on pilgrimage with him. So we know that this is similar to Lord Ramachandra's pastime when Dasarath was asked by the Vishwamrita Muni to take Ramachandra, Lord Ramachandra and Lakshman to kill the demons who were disturbing their sacrifice. We know that Marichi got thrown into the ocean. So the same pastimes go on again and again. So similarly, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes with Nityananda are similar to or practically identical with the pastimes of Krishna and Balaram. Now in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Paritranaya sarunam vinashaya tradiskritam dharma samstapanarataya sambhavami yuge yuge. That in order to protect the pious, to annihilate the miscreants, and to reestablish religious principles, I admit myself millennium after millennium. So Lord Nityananda's pastimes in this world are the pastimes of Krishna, the representative of Krishna, and Lord Nityananda is eternally having his pastimes in the material world, and relevant to us, he's the super soul in everyone's heart. So when he says in the Bhagavad Gita, because Prabhupada mentions that in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is speaking, but he's speaking in the role of his different avatars. So when he says in the Bhagavad Gita, Machita Machkata Prana Bodhyantaj Parashparam Katayantastamam Nityam Tu Shanti Cha Ramanti Cha, that the thoughts of my pure devotees, they dwell in me, their lives are surrendered to me, and they derive great satisfaction and bliss by enlightening one another and conversing about me. So we know that Lord Nityananda, as we're hearing in the particular song by Narottam Das Thakur, he's always happy. And why is he always happy? Because he's always glorifying Krishna, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He is the dearmost servant of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And he's the original spiritual master. So whatever we can glorify, however we can glorify Krishna, it is by the mercy of Lord Nityananda and his representatives, the acharyas coming in disciple succession. But Lord Nityananda is the root of the acharyas. And tesham sadatam yuktanam bhajantam priti purvakam dadami buddhiyogam tam yena mam upayantite. To those who are constantly devoted to worshiping me with love, I give them the understanding by which they can come to me. So we know that Krishna does not reveal himself so easily. For instance, as it says, acharyamam vidanitam navamanyate karichet, that one should know the spiritual master as my very self, and one should never disrespect him. So Prabhupada writes in the purport that one should understand that the acharya, he's non-different from Lord Nityananda. he's a personal manifestation of Lord Nityananda, or he's a personal associate of Srimati Radharani. So, Lord Nityananda, as a super soul within our heart, he empowers us to understand the science of Krishna consciousness and to distribute it to others. That Shiksha Guru Ke Te Krishnera Swarup Antaryami Bhakti Shrestha Se Dui Rup. That Lord Nityananda appears as the super soul and as the best of the devotees. That they're non-different. That whatever we can remember about Krishna, whatever we forget about Maya, and whatever awareness of Krishna we have, it is all by the mercy of Lord Nityananda and his representatives. Nityai Parakamala Koti Shushu Shitala. That Lord Nityananda's lotus feet are more cooling than millions of moons. Because he gives us the intelligence by which we actually come in contact with Krishna. That is the purpose of Krishna's advent here. Krishna only has one purpose. That is to distribute Krishna consciousness. Therefore, when he says, Yari Deka Tarikaha Krishna Upadesh Amara Agar Guruhana Tare Desh, that whoever we meet, our only business is to understand what to say, what to do to inspire people and devotees in order to approach Krishna. So that is Lord Nityananda, who's within our heart as a super soul, giving us the intelligence by which we can perform devotional service and distribute Krishna consciousness to others. And sometimes Lord Nityananda comes in his different incarnations, because Lord Nityananda is the original Balaram. And from Lord Balaram, all the expansions of Godhead come. So Lord Nityananda is non-different from Lord Balaram. They're both the same person. Therefore it's Lord Nityananda Ram. And by his example, he showed us how to distribute Krishna consciousness, especially in this age. Himself and Haridas Thakur would go door to door, and they knock on the door, and the householder would answer, and Lord Nityananda would roll on the ground and say, Bolo Krishna, Bhaja Krishna, Koro Krishna, Shika. Worship, chant Hare Krishna, worship Krishna, and follow Krishna's instructions. So that's very simple. Actually, one devotee was telling Srila Prabhupada that you make everything very simple. You make the philosophy very simple. And Srila Prabhupada said, because the philosophy is simple. That Krishna is God, we're eternal servants of Krishna, and we should serve Krishna. That's the whole philosophy. Any questions? That's our whole philosophy. It is actually quite simple. So Lord Nityananda, he comes and he shows us how to serve Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu by distributing Krishna consciousness to others and by becoming Krishna conscious ourselves. And of course we know that Lord Nityananda, because he's the super soul, he's helping everyone advance in Krishna consciousness. that when he says Tesham Yesham Antakatam Papam Jananam Punya Karmanam Te Dvanva Mohaniramuktva Pujante Mam Drida Vrataha. That Krishna consciousness advances in different stages. And Lord Nityananda is helping every living entity, inspiring them to come at least to beginning the process of advancing towards spiritual life. Krishna says there are two kinds of created beings, the divine and the demoniac, the suras and the asuras. So Lord Nityananda is trying to inspire those to at least begin the process of advancing towards Krishna. Following the scriptures. Tasmat shastram pramanam te karya vyastito gyatva shastram vidanokta karma kartami harasi. It is Lord Nityananda, the super soul within our heart, who can actually help us remember what Krishna says, for instance in Bhagavad Gita, who gives us the intelligence to assimilate the philosophy and actually realize it. And that same philosophy is given by Guru, by Sadhu, and by Shastra, and by Antaryami within the heart. And outside, as Lord Nityananda and his representatives, and Bhakti Shreshtha, a Duarup. But not everyone sees everything perfectly. Still, one should try to understand who actually is the Maharaj, who's actually the direct representatives of Lord Nityananda. In other words, part of our education is to try to understand Lord Nityananda. What is his mood? What is his activities? And who's actually following him? Because, as Prabhupada writes in the purport of the Adi Leela, verse 147, there are two types of Shiksha gurus. One who's absorbed in transcendence and sees everything perfectly. And the other is who understands things subjectively by their personal realization. Both can help the conditioned souls, because Lord Nityananda is coming in so many different ways to help all living entities try to make progress towards Krishna consciousness. But not everyone sees everything perfectly. And therefore Prabhupada writes that the Acharya, in the true sense of the term, who is authorized to deliver Krishna, enriches the disciple with full spiritual knowledge and thus awakens him to the activities of devotional service. So Lord Nityananda is not an ordinary personality. He's a manifestation of pure devotional service. Therefore he's Nityananda, always blissful, because he's always absorbed in service to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, always absorbed in the pastimes of Krishna and his associates. Therefore his activities are not that of an ordinary personality, of a conditioned soul, but of an ever-liberated soul. And he comes specifically in Kali Yuga to show us an example of how to serve Krishna in this particular age. And therefore his activities are mainly that of preaching. When himself and Lord and Haridas Thakur were preaching and they saw Jagaya and Madhai, Lord Nityananda immediately thought, let us deliver these two rascals, Jagaya and Madhai. Because if we can deliver these two fools, then certainly Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will be glorified in the three worlds. So Lord Nityananda was not interested in his own personal benefit or his own personal fame. He was simply interested in serving Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Shri Krishna, Chaitanya, Radha Krishna, Anya. Because Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the most merciful incarnation, and he's coming and he's freely delivering love of God. Therefore, in the pictures of this Sankirtan movement, when we see Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu dancing during the Rath Yatra, for instance, everyone is blissful. Lord Nityananda is blissful. Advaita Acharya is blissful. Lord Chaitanya is shedding tears, and his devotees like Sukambar, they're catching the tears. And everyone is ecstatic. Lord Jagannath is ecstatic. Everyone is in love of God because Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is just emanating wave after wave of love of God, of love for Krishna, Radha and Krishna, their pastimes, bringing Lord Jagannath back to Vrindavan. And his personal assistant is Lord Nityananda, because Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is falling on the ground, sometimes out of ecstasy, and Lord Nityananda is catching him. So, Lord Nityananda is with Haridas Thakur, and they see these two brothers, Jagai and Madai. Because Jagai and Madai, as we know from history, they were formerly the gatekeepers in Vaikuntha, Jai and Vijay. So this is a perfect opportunity for Lord Nityananda to show his mercy and deliver these two brothers. I remember when I was distributing books at the airport in Chicago, and Chicago was one of the busiest airports of the world at that time. So one of the BBT trustees was there watching us, watching. We had many big book distributors at that time. And he came up to me and he said that you should approach everyone and try to give them a book. And there's like thousands of people going through this airport, actually tens of thousands every day. So when he was watching me for around 10 minutes, I approached everyone. But if I would have done that for the whole day, I would have lasted around a half an hour. Generally speaking, we look for people who probably might be receptive. And of course, when you're distributing books, you gain a certain amount of Lord Nityananda's mercy, and you feel empowered to different degrees, and therefore your range of possibilities increases as the day goes on, generally speaking. You're able to approach more varieties of people because we're not really selling philosophy when we distribute a book. We're selling our ecstasy, our enthusiasm to distribute the book. And the more enthusiasm we have, the more people we can approach, because that's what people buy, is the enthusiasm. So Lord Nityananda shows us the example of approaching the most fallen. And of course, if we try to do that, we might get ourselves into difficulty. We have to be a little discriminating also. What is our position? I was distributing books one time with the second or third biggest distributor in the world at that time. He was a nice-looking devotee, and we were distributing books together in a small airport in Charlotte, North Carolina. The only And I wasn't the second or the third, but I was in the top 20 at that time, which was quite difficult in a small little airport. But his technique was that he'd only approach the most beautiful women who came by the airport. The most attractively dressed ones. And he'd stop them, and you'd think Romeo had met Juliet. And after some time, the lady would give some big donation, and I was quite impressed. So this went on for some months. We were distributing together. And then one day, he met the lady he was looking for, and that was the end of his book distribution. So we have to be a little bit... we have to be a little discriminating in how we approach the fallen. We have to lift up the earth like Lord Varaha, but we shouldn't fall into the Garbhodak Ocean. So Lord Nityananda, he has the potency to approach Jagai and Madhai. Now, Jagai and Madhai were not ordinary rogues and thieves. Eventually, when they were delivered, Lord Yamaraj, he asked Chandragupta, can you tell me what sins Jagai and Madhai had performed in their lifetime? And Chandragupta said, how can I do that, my lord? He said, these rogues were so sinful that I had so many scribes, and all they did was write down their sinful activities. And not only they wrote down their sinful activities, but they take the scrolls and they throw them into bottomless pits filled with their sinful activities, a record of their sinful activities. But after a while, the bottomless pits would get filled up by all the scrolls they had to throw into them. So how can I describe how rascals these two brothers were? Still, Lord Nityananda pointed them out to Haridas Thakur and said, let us, my Lord Haridas Thakur, let us go and deliver these two rascals, because if we deliver them, then Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's glories will be spread all over the universe. And that was a fact. So Lord Nityananda went up to the two brothers who were intoxicated, and he said, just like he said to the other people he'd meet door to door, my dear brothers, Yari Deka, Bolo Krishna, Bhaja Krishna, Koro Krishna Shika. So these two rascals, they did not appreciate it. And they said, look at these two people, these mendicants. They're talking all kinds of nonsense. Let's grab them and kill them. So immediately Lord Nityananda started to run. Haridas Thakur started to run. And the two brothers ran after them. So Haridas Thakur started to criticize Lord Nityananda. He said, you always get me into trouble. I was peacefully here telling people to chant Hare Krishna, and you pick out the two biggest rascals and trying to deliver them. So Lord Nityananda said, it's not my fault. It's your Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's fault. He told us to do this. So eventually, because they were too drunk, they started to run around in circles, and they lost Lord Nityananda and Haridas Thakur. So that night, Lord Nityananda came back, and he gave his report, because every night he would give his report to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu about who was delivered. And Lord Nityananda said, that we try to deliver to rogues and thieves. Haryasa, of course, said, yeah, and they practically killed us, my Lord. Jagai Madai. But luckily we escaped. So Lord Chaitanya said, next time I'm going to take my Sudarshan chakra and cut their heads off. So of course Lord Nityananda was never discouraged in his preaching. So when he saw the two brothers, Jagai and Madai, they were by Srivasanga, and in Srivasanga they were listening to the kirtan and mocking the Vaishnavas, pretending that they were dancing. So Lord Nityananda saw them, and again he went up, Bolo Krishna, Bhaja Krishna, Koro Krishna Shika. And Jagai looked at Maharaj and said, who is this rascal? Why is he disturbing us? So Maharaj picked up a stone and threw it at a broken pot, actually, part of a broken pot, and threw it at Lord Nityananda and cut his forehead. So Lord Nityananda said, it doesn't matter what you've done, please chant Hare Krishna. Meanwhile, word got back to Lord Chaitanya that his dear Nityananda was attacked by Jagai and Madai. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took up his Sudarshan chakra, came, and was going to kill these two brothers, Jagai and Madai, for attacking his dear devotee, Lord Nityananda. So Lord Nityananda, saying that Lord Chaitanya was actually going to use his Sudarshan chakra in Kali Yuga, he was thinking that these two brothers, they're just normal people. People are just normally sinful in Kali Yuga, and if Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu kills them, there'll be no one left to preach to. So he said, don't kill them, my Lord. He said, give me these two brothers in charity. So meanwhile, Jagai was realizing that this is serious when he saw the Sudarshan chakra fly in the air and that he was about to be killed. But Jagai had the good sense, after Madhai attacked Lord Nityananda, he grabbed his arm and said, don't, because Madhai wanted to attack him again. He said, don't attack him, he's just a mendicant, just leave him alone. So Lord Nityananda told Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that Jagai, he tried to save me. So Jagai fell at the lotus feet of Lord Chaitanya. And Lord Chaitanya was not going to kill Jagai, he was going to kill Madhai. So Madhai said, why are you going to kill me? He said, we're both brothers, we're practically the same. Whatever sinful activities I have done, he's also done. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, because you have attacked my dear Nityai, therefore you're finished. So both the brothers, they fell at Lord Nityananda's lotus feet and begged for his mercy, and then Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu forgave them. So that's the only hope, people of Kali Yuga. Of course, Lord Nityananda, he's expanded himself in the form of his devotees in this age. Srila Prabhupada came to expand the representatives of Lord Nityananda. What does that mean? That this is the battlefield of preaching work, Prabhupada said. When Arjuna was looking at the universal forum, he said, Akyaki me ko bhavan ugarupo, namostu te deva vrat prasida, vigatamischami vantamadyam, Ihi prajanami tava pravritim. My dear Lord, akyaki me ko bhavan ugarupo. What's happening here? You were my friend, we were sitting on a chariot, you seem like a normal person, and then suddenly you're not even a vegetarian anymore. You're eating warriors on the battlefield. You're not the same person I used to know as Krishna. What's happened to you? Why are you displaying this horrible Ugar Rupo? Tell me, what is your purpose? So then Krishna says, Kalos mi loka sheye krit pravrido, lokansa maharti miha pravritak, itepi twamma vivshanti sarve, evastita pratyuke shiyoda. Time I am, and I've come to destroy all people. They used to worry about the terrorists, because they were going to come and kill us. But the number one terrorist Krishna admits in the Bhagavad Gita is himself. He's actually coming, he's killing everyone. But he's so sneaky, no one even believes it. He's come to kill everyone in the form of time. And except for the Pandavas, all the soldiers on both sides here will be killed. And why not the Pandavas? Krishna tells Arjuna how he can be saved. Tasmadu tishti sholavasva jitva shatram bhukshvam rajan samridam vigatami chami vantamadhyam hi prajanami tava pravitim. Actually, that's not right either. Agyaki make tasmat twamu tishti sholavasva jitva shatram bhukshvam rajan samridam niminita matra bhava savasachin. Just get up and prepare to fight, and after conquering enemies, you'll enjoy a flourishing kingdom. Your savasachi can be but an instrument in the fight. In other words, Srila Prabhupada came as a representative of Lord Nityananda, and Srila Prabhupada's representatives are doing the same thing, in order to teach us how to become an instrument for Lord Nityananda. As Prabhupada writes in the Nectar of Devotion, Srila Rupa Goswami has explained to us that no one should consider oneself a great preacher. One should simply consider oneself an instrument in the hands of the previous acharyas. And by serving them, one may be able to do some good for oneself and for others. In other words, what we're seeing is, by the mercy of Lord Nityananda, by the mercy of Lord Chaitanya, by the mercy of our acharyas, that Lord Nityananda is spreading his mercy by becoming, by ourselves surrendering in proportion to our surrendering to Lord Nityananda within our heart. Then we become empowered to become instruments, transparent via medias to the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and the Panchatattva as they performed them 500 years ago. And by such empowerment, then proportionally we become eligible to deliver the conditioned souls of this age, including ourselves, of course, because we're also one of the conditioned souls of this age. Srila Prabhupada said that we're simply trying to get people to dance and chant. Of course, Lord Chaitanya, he was able to get the animals in the forest to chant and dance. Parama Kuna Paudvijana Nitya Gora Chandra Sabhavatara Sarashiromani Kevala Anandakanda. That these two lords, Lord Nityananda and Lord Chaitanya, they're the essence of all the incarnations. Because all the incarnations, they only have one purpose, is to bring everyone back to Vaikuntha or Goloka Vrindavan. That's the only reason why Krishna comes. That's the only purpose of this creation, There's nothing else. And what are they asking? Bhaja, Bhaja, Bhai, Chaitanya Nitai, Sudrida Vishvasakori. Just worship Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Lord Nityananda with determination. As I said, people may be introduced to becoming religious, following the principles of mercy, austerity, truthfulness, and cleanliness. That's the beginning of religious life. But then above that is to act piously. Krita Punja Punja, service to Krishna. That's the only real pious activity. Everything else is sinful. If we're not serving Krishna, we're imitating Krishna. Vayam dvitiya biniveshatasyad isharapatasya viparyo smriti. Then our memory becomes perverted and we imagine ourselves as one of the lords of the material world. Maybe we're lording over a kingdom, maybe we're lording it over our home, maybe we're lording it over a cat in our house. But everyone is imitating Radha and Krishna. Someone maybe think they're Radha, someone else thinks they're Krishna, someone thinks they're Romeo, someone thinks they're Juliet, someone thinks they're Tarzan, someone thinks they're Jane, someone thinks they're Mickey Mouse, someone thinks they're Minnie Mouse. But everyone is imitating Radha and Krishna in this world. Therefore, pious activity means to perform devotional service to Krishna, follow Krishna's instructions. Then one can tolerate one's sinful activities, past sinful activities. One can pass the test of the spiritual master. As Prabhupada says, that blind following and absurd inquiries are condemned, that one should not only hear submissively, but one should get a clear understanding through submission, service, and inquiries. That one is inquiries and inquiries and submission constitute the proper combination for spiritual understanding. Unless there is submission and service, inquiries will not be effective. One should be able to pass the test of the spiritual master. And when the spiritual master sees the genuine desire of the disciple, he automatically blesses him with genuine spiritual understanding. So we have to pass the test. We have to tolerate our minds. The mind is always saying, well, why are you serving Krishna so much? Take a break. You deserve it. A little bit of Maya doesn't hurt. So one has to Udarad Atmanatmanam Atmanam Avasadayat Atmaiva Yatmano Bandura Atmaiva Ripur Atmana. A man must elevate himself by his own mind, not degrade himself. The mind is the friend of the conditioned soul and his enemy as well. For one who has conquered the mind, it's the best of friends, and for one who has failed to do so, his very mind will be the greatest enemy. So our conquering the mind is to take shelter of the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda through the process of devotional service given to us by our acharyas. And if we don't understand that, if we don't accept it, even we may apparently be devotees, but we'll be sometimes in Maya and sometimes partially in consciousness of Krishna. So one has to tolerate sinful reactions and rise up to the platform of real devotional service. What is real nishta? What is real devotional service? It's one who's not attached to material enjoyment, and he's not detached from material enjoyment. He's simply interested in service to the mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Lord Nityananda. Then one can rise to the pure knowledge of the personality of Godhead. Then one can actually feel Krishna's presence. One can actually feel Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda, their mood of service to the mission of Krishna consciousness. One can actually feel, and it's ecstatic. It's full of happiness. It's full of real knowledge. Yomam sarvabhutastam atmanam sarvabhutanichatmani ikshete yoga yukta atma sarvatra samadarshana. That the true yogi observes me in all beings and sees every being in me. Indeed, the self-realized soul sees me, the same Supreme Lord, everywhere. And for one who can see me everywhere and sees everything in me, I am never lost to him, nor is he ever lost to me. One who knows that I and the super soul dwelling in the hearts of all beings are the same, worships me and always remains in me in all circumstances. So Lord Nityananda is in our heart. He's telling us, he's directing us through his acharyas, through the scriptures, through the sadhus, gurus, sadhu and shastra. He's trying to inspire us to follow them. He's giving us the intelligence how to do it, the realization how to do it, in order to actually give Krishna consciousness appropriately to all living entities, to elevate us to the platform that we actually see Krishna everywhere in the hearts of all living entities. If not actually see, but at least theoretically. Kshetra kshetragya evam antara jnana chakshusha bhuta prakriti moksham cha ye vidur yantite param. Kshetra kshetragya evam. One who knows that one who can see both the super soul and the soul, kshetra, in the kshetram, in this material energy, antaram, jnana chakshusha. The difference between the soul, the super soul, and the material energy, antaram means the difference. Jnana chakshush. So what is the spiritual master as a representative of Lord Nityananda? What is Lord Nityananda giving us? He's giving us jnana chakshus, seeing things properly through Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra, the discrimination, how to understand things properly, how to act properly, how to feel properly, how to speak properly. So we come to this realization that there's nothing but Krishna, and Krishna and Krishna's energies through the process of pure devotional service. Tad buddhiyas, tad atmanas, tad nishtas, tad parayanaha, gachantnyapana avritim, jnana niduta kalmashaha. One's faith, mind, refuge, intelligence are all fixed in the Supreme. Then one becomes cleansed of all misgivings through complete knowledge, and thus proceeds straight on the path of self-realization. And what does one see? Vidyavanaya sampane brahmani gavihastini shuni chaiva swapake cha pandita samadarshana. He sees everyone, all living entities. They're all Krishna's eternal servants. Krishna is in the heart of all living entities. And antara jnana bhuta prakriti moksham cha. The bhuta, the living entities. Prakriti, the material nature. The liberation from it. Ye vidur. By this knowledge, ye vidur. Kshetra kshetraya evam antara jnana chakshusha bhuta prakriti moksham cha ye vidur yantite param. Then one can gradually approach the supreme destination. So this is the knowledge, how to deal with each other, how to deal with the innocent, how to deal with the non-devotees, and how to deal with Krishna. Practice according to the Jnana Chakshush given by Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra, and taking shelter of Lord Nityananda within our heart. His instructions, his example, his representatives' example, their instructions, so that we can approach Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's lotus feet. And by approaching Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's lotus feet, then by his mercy we can enter into the pastimes of Krishna and his devotees in Goloka Vrindavan. Otherwise, there's no other hope for ourselves or for anyone else in this age. As it is said in the Mahabharata, Tarka apratishta shudya vibhina nasavari sharyasyana binam dharmasya tattvam nihitam guhayam mahajno yena katha sapanta. Everyone is arguing, just like this is the, at least in America, they have this big election cycle. Big for our tiny planet. As Prabhupada said when he was here during the election, President Nixon was running. And everywhere they were saying, America needs Nixon now. That was the slogan. And Prabhupada said, what is the difference? Whether Nixon gets elected or anyone else elected, the same thing happens anyhow. And that's guaranteed. All these problems in the material world that are going on now are all due to sinful activities. You elect this fool or that fool, this person, whatever. It makes no difference. The sinful reactions are going to have their effect. That's the laws of material nature. As long as people are killing cows, killing animals, having illicit sex, killing their own children, taking intoxication, speculating and gambling, there's going to be problems. There's no other way this material world works. The only hope is when this Hare Krishna movement, it spreads and people stop, and one of the first things is that they stop their sinful activities, at least some proportion of the population. Then they take up devotional service. Then they conquer the sinful reactions and actually start engaging in pure devotional service. Then there can actually be change in this world. Otherwise, it's doomed. That according to the modes of material nature, one will get their next life. Urvam gachati sattvasta, madhye tishtati rajasa, jaganya guna vrittista, do gachati tamasa. People are not very pious in this age, and their leaders are not pious either. Andaya tandira pagiyamanas te pisha tantra urudami bara, because nate vidu swartikatim hi Vishnu. They don't know how wonderful Krishna is. They don't know how beautiful Krishna is. They don't even know that there is a Krishna. And if they know about Krishna, they know all the wrong things about him. They have their own ideas about Krishna. There are the Tevidu Swartikatim Hi Vishnu Darashya Ye Barhya Artamanina. Therefore they take something completely insignificant. Someone is kicking a ball, or here I guess, here they have cricket. Cricket's, what's the big thing, socket or cricket? Cricket. Why do they call it cricket? It makes sound. When they're talking about it, everyone's talking like a cricket. I think cricket is a little bit like baseball, isn't it? They throw. So if the person throws the ball and he hits it, he becomes the person who hits the ball becomes a national hero. Everyone is, offering him garlands. They're interviewing him. His face is all over the newspapers and the internet. He's a hero. He hit the ball. He scored. So this Nite vidu swartikatim darashya ye bar is insignificant. He's going to become a cricket in his next lifetime. And all his followers who are glorifying him are also going to become crickets and jump around, make sounds. Because adanta gaubira vishitam temizram andaya tandir pagiyamanas te pisha tantra urudamiba. They're blind, and they're following another blind person. They don't know that the goal is to obtain Krishna. They don't know how wonderful, how beautiful Krishna is. They don't know how wonderful and beautiful a life is with Krishna. And therefore they're wasting the human form of life. Therefore one has to choose, instead of simply arguing who's going to be elected, or who's going to save us this time, who's going to lie to us, who tells the biggest lies, and who interprets. Even here, people, they run for election and they hold the scripture up, Bhagavad Gita, and that's all they know about the Bhagavad Gita. They don't really follow the Bhagavad Gita, they just hold it up and everyone thinks, oh, they're pious. They're holding the Bhagavad Gita, which is probably the only pious thing they've ever done in their life. So it is not enough just to hold Bhagavad Gita, one has to act according to the Bhagavad Gita. Then, not only that, but we have to know who a real rishi is. There's so many rishis. There's Gautama, there's Patanjali, there is Vaishesika. There's so many different leaders. But who's actually a leader? That actually the real leader, the real knowledge is held in the heart of a self-realized person. Tarka pratishta shudya vibhina nasavarishya yasyana binam dharmasya tattvam nihitam guhayam mahajano yena katasapanta. So everyone has to choose a leader. Prabhupada said that for the demons, then Ravana is a leader. He's a Mahatma. There's even a Purana that describes Ravana as the hero of the Ramayana. Or as one demon said, that actually my friend Shishupal, he got his head cut off by this rascal Krishna because he was just a little inattentive. That my friend is the actual hero of the story. And for those in the mode of passion, maybe some big industrialist who makes a lot of money, he's the hero, he's the leader. And for those in the mode of goodness, maybe some someone who's into ecology, humanitarian, they're the leader. But actually, the real leader is one who gives Krishna consciousness. One who's an instrument for the real leader, Krishna. He's actually a leader. He's actually a representative of Lord Nityananda. So Lord Nityananda, he has so many pastimes. I'll just say a couple of my pastimes because I have 5 minutes or 10 minutes left. Lord Nityananda, he was an avaduta, and therefore he showed it didn't really matter. You can have all kinds of opulence, and you can still be a pure devotee of Krishna, like Pundarik Vidya needing. So he was going all around Navadvip with his Sankirtan party, but he would be dressed in silks. He'd have gold ornaments on. So one day, one thief, head of the thieves, a Brahmin thief, he saw Lord Nityananda and he thought, Krishna is so kind. He's put all the opulence right here. We don't have to go around the whole city and steal. We just have to steal from this Nityananda and we'll get all the opulence we need. So they made plans that we're going to steal from Lord Nityananda. So he got his thieves together. Lord Nityananda was living at the house. I forget whose house it was, Rita Chaitanya's. And he was there with his associates. So the thieves got together. They did their offering to Durga. They sharpened their swords. They drank their liquor. And they were going to attack Lord Nityananda. So they were about to attack Lord Nityananda when they all fell asleep. Then they woke up the next morning and they looked at each other. Why did you fall asleep? You spoiled everything. Well, why did you fall asleep? And the head thief, the Brahmin thief, says, oh, just take it easy. You know, it happens. You know, there'll be another day we'll be able to steal from Lord Nityananda. So the next full moon, the next dark moon night, they got together. They sharpened their swords again. They made their offerings to Goddess Durga. They prepared to attack Lord Nityananda's house and steal all his riches. They crept up gradually to the house. They were just about to attack, and they saw there were guards surrounding the house of Lord Nityananda who were 2.5 meters high, carrying huge clubs, chanting the names of Lord Nityananda. They looked like they were the gatekeepers of Vaikuntha. So the Brahmin said, better we wait a couple of more days. Finally, this is the day came a month later. This time we're going to get those riches no matter what. So they went through the whole ritual again, offerings to Durga Devi, sharpening their swords, creeping up on the house, and they were about to attack. Everything went black. They all went blind. Some of them fell into the ditch, and scorpions started to bite them. Some of them fell into thorny bushes, and were being pierced all over. Indra sent hailstones, started to beat them. So they were all suffering, groaning, and then the Brahmin thieves thought, this Lord Nityananda is not ordinary. Obviously, he's the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So I must surrender to him. So as soon as he thought like that, immediately Indra stops sending hail down. Immediately they regained their vision. All the thieves regained their vision. They got disentangled from the thorns and they left. Except for the Brahmin thief. He went into the house and fell on the floor and surrendered to Lord Nityananda. So all the associates of Lord Nityananda, they were shocked. This is the most hideous dacoit of all of them, this Brahmin thief. He has the worst reputation. But Lord Nityananda said, no, don't worry about it. It's all right. He said, bring him to me. So they brought this thief to Lord Nityananda, and Lord Nityananda put his lotus feet on his head, and he began to roll on the ground in ecstasy. So all these miseries in the material world that are being inflicted upon the asuras, it's all Lord Nityananda's mercy. they can realize that unless they accept the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda, there'll only be misery. There'll only be trouble. There's no other alternative than to accept the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda. Then, of course, this thief became one of the principal associates of Lord Nityananda. And did he stop? No, he went to all his friends, the thieves that he knew before, and converted them into devotees too. So we have so many Jagais and Madhais. We ourselves are not that in the distant past. We're one of them. And now it's our turn to go out and bring them to the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda so that he can put his lotus feet on their head and they can chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nityananda Ram ki jai, Mahahosava Abhibhav Tira Nityananda Ram ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Premanande Haribol. Thank you. Hare Krishna.